Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. And this one we pull the big boat out of the water, do a few jobs, but as usual, there's always those few extra surprises. There he is there, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Because just forward of that is a couple of side imaging transducers underneath.
Righto,
So if you come over that, right over that mark, mate, you should be fine.
Yeah, it's always hectic as you're coming up. It's such a narrow opening, and yeah, keeping the boat off
Pretty
the concrete.
pretty stressful there at the end.
Yeah, a little bit stressful, a little bit close, but I got a fender in time, so yeah, save marking up the side of the boat.
Well, we slept on the boat last night, just out in the inlet there. We've got her in the slings now. We're taking her out of the water to do a few jobs to her, and mostly the seacocks and the forward-looking transducer. The rest of the stuff we can do when it's back in the water, and hopefully only 3 days and we'll be back in the drink. When you're bringing a boat into these little pens and stuff like that, most of the guys that do these sort of things arrange with the travel lifts, arrange it so that you're around a high tide, a change of tide, and not on big tides or prevailing wind. We've got a bit of a southerly there, just pushing me out on the way in. But the best thing about two engines is you can always correct yourself. Okay guys, she's out of the water now, across the road, into the shed. We've got all our things to start doing, but we have got an extra job now. We've noticed that our cutlass bearings are on borderline for being replaced, so we thought we're going to try and get that done as well. So sometimes you get these little shocks under the waterline. You don't see one until you pull the boat out. So we've got a lot of work to do in 3 days, so we're going to get into it.
Oh, you have to go back in Friday?
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going to happen now, but we're just probably have to going to keep using it, I think, as it is. And I mean, you know, it's probably still get away with another 300 hours, I suppose. But
So the only trouble of pulling it out later is you're going to have all the new pop speed and all that on there.
yeah,
So they'll strip all that off. Take the bearings out.
yeah, righto. I'll see what Joel says about whether he's got someone else booked into the shed here or not. We might have to stay out of the water a bit longer, maybe. Well, we do have a little bit of a problem with the cutlass bearings. We can't get it back in the water in time. If we can't get the bearings in time, put them in, because of the anti-fouling and the prop speed. Prop speed is the coating which goes on your shafts and all your underwater gear that's metal. It's just a bit better than anti-fouling. It stays on a lot better. But if we put the cutlass bearings in, that's all got to be redone and can't be done until they go back in, which doesn't leave us enough curing time for the prop speed before we go back in the water. So we're going to have a talk to the guys. We may have to extend the stay and change all our other plans, and might get it back in the water next Monday instead of Friday. So anyway, fingers crossed. There's always dramas when these things come out of the water, I tell you. Now this is the LVS 32. This is our forward-looking Panoptix live scope transducer. Many of you guys who might already have these on your barra boats, and you'll have them on a swivel bracket over the side that allows you to move it around to review under the water. But of course we can't do that on a boat like this. But the main reason we want this for anyway is to look forward. So we're going to be mounting it just into the forward part of the engine room, or into the next section forward there, where the toilet seacocks and all that are, the forward compartment at the back of it. We're going to mount it. It's got a fairing block which we have to cut on an angle, and it'll basically be around about this area somewhere and looking forward, and it'll basically allow us to see anything around about up to 70 metres in front of us where it comes up like a rise or a big rock or bommy or whatever it be. And to look around, all we've got to do is skewer the boat from left to right using the propellers, and we can have a good look around under the water to see where any openings and that thing might be, or just basically the dangers is the most common thing we've been looking for, but you never know what you're going to get into in tight situations. I'm just about to rip up the floor now, up in the forward compartment. This is where all the sea cocks are for the toilet intake and outlet, and we've just got to measure the wire and the transducer to see whether we're going to mount it in this compartment or the front of the engine room compartment. So either or will be still good positions to put it. You don't want to go way too far forward with these things, and of course you don't want to go way too far backwards, especially when you want it in a forward-looking aspect. One of the most important things for this slip, apparently, according to the wife, is the big flash underwater blue light, so she can play with barramundi in the marina. Anyway, all the old ones are coming off because they're a bit past their use by date. We're going to fill all those holes in, and we're going to put 2 brand newies straight in the back there. And apparently these ones can blind you from 100 metres away. So we might even roast a few squid, we'll see. Fortunately, you get the anti-fouling stuck in these old screw holes. They've been in there so long, it's taken a while to dig them out, and you've got to dig out the screw heads as well. And at least the screws have been coming out nice and free. That's one plus anyway. What's it like drilling into a boat? Well, it's already got 70 holes in it. You just got to make sure they're all sealed. These ones don't go all the way through. We just make them a little bit deeper so the bog's got something to grip into, and we're going to make up a bog and push it in there and seal up all the old holes. Split pin trick. How many people does it take to remove a split pin?
One to hold it, that was 300 to turn the boat.
That's it. A job like this requires a very small shifter. We've come across a few issues in the initial stages, but in the next episode we get the bearings out, install the live scope transducer, and we get to drill some more holes in the boat, which is always fun. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video and you want to see more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook or Insta, and if you want some special tips that I only send out by email only, head on over to our website www.ryanmoodifishing.com and sign up for free training and email updates. Get in the great outdoors, keep fishing smarter, and we'll see you next time.